All right, guys. I'm here to kind of talk about a couple things that popped up this weekend. I want to just make sure that we're clear on some things we're doing. So, we're talking about some offensive stuff, riding, some defensive stuff, clearing, some face-off ideas and stuff like that. So, real simple here in our offense. What we're trying to do is get into this open set that we are eventually going to roll into something that's known as stacks, which is three sets of two. We've kind of been working on this. Basically, you end up with like zone one over here, zone two over here, and zone three. So lefties over here, righties over here, and hopefully a righty and a lefty over there, but we can also play it not. Those are just two attackmen. Right now, we have the third attackman is quote unquote called the skunk. So since he's a righty, he comes into this area right here, which is on this side. All right. With that being said, basically how it works is, if you kind of notice what we're looking to do here, is let's say we're running west. So if we're going to go here, we'll kind of set this pick. All right, and we'll get this in this look. All right, and then we end up with this 2-4 type concept. And I've kind of delineated some areas here where, like 6 yards from the crease, these attackmen kind of operate there. We want to try to keep the middies out of here. We can get them within this 5 to 7 yard area within here above. So they got like a low crease and a high crease, and I want the middies kind of working with that. So his job is basically be taking this thing high side as much as you can. Use his mirror, who loaded up, which is setting a pick or setting a pick on an area, and then he just pick and roll off that as he goes. On the same side, when we start to go, we're basically going to mirror the back end. All right, we're going to mirror the back end. All right, so he's going to kind of slip down to set a little pick here, and he's just going to kind of come up here. All right, now he's not coming all the way up. Instead, he's staying within this area, okay? So as we take it on this top side, all right, what we can do is we can backside cut this, which is literally just kind of cutting through here and replacing, so we end up with a double. So these guys rotate and these guys kind of rotate, if they can, the bottom guys. The general rule for thumb in zone 3 is if you don't have the ball in zone 3, we want them at home, which is call these the pinches right there. So once again, as he cuts, we'll get him over there, and then we'll be the same thing. We'll just nice and even on that side. So either he has something, he's trying to attack the cage, right? And if not, we're looking to kick it. All right, so we can kick it to him, all right, who he can then help load him up. All right, he has to then cut. And he's going to cut and then get himself basically nice and even through. All right, same idea. He'll then start to drift. And as we do this, you can start to see this action that starts to occur. He'll look at the mirror, kind of have this little guy inside for a quick give and go, continue looking to attack. Eventually, he can float. If not, we pass it back over here. He cuts, and we end up with this. We end up with this motion that kind of occurs. Okay, so that shows you like what west would look like, and obviously from east, we would go from here. Same idea, right? As we're going over the top, we're mirroring, kind of coming over here, just in this nice area. All right, he's looking to read this cut through. All right, and we're kind of going. All right, way it looks. Now, we don't always have to be going over the top, okay? Because we don't always have 3 lefties and 3 righties. So instead, let's say we get into this area here and we're going, and we go skinny. At this point, we're cutting through. We should be already through when we read that. And this guy has to be here. It's called on the float. All right, these guys, all right, they read. So once we go skinny, in a way, they're reading. Can they interchange? Of course they can. All right. If not, they're fine staying here because they're waiting for the next action. So as we kind of come down here, we're going to make this defender is called the bishop, and this is an advanced term. But basically, we're going to move this bishop and keep him inside here. So he's slipping in high, all right? And as we go, we're going to then pass it to the float, who's then going to drive, all All right, and he's got to get open. Well, we weren't open yesterday, but he's got to get open, and he's going to drive and he's going to read. He'll slip back down, or he can come here and replace within this group. He'll just be in that spot until he can recover back to where we need to be. He's driving, and then we end up with our cut and our fade. So drive, cut, fade, right? All right, you can pass it there for the step down or pass it there for the quick look. We got the go, and once again, we're interchanging on that end. So, showing you how we can run our west, we can run our east, we can go skinny, we can go topside. Now let's just look at our hippo play. Hippo is nothing more than basically our idea coming from like the zero, which is down the middle, or halfways, all right? But basically, what we want to do is we want to isolate short sticks as best we can, all right? So what we'll end up having is these guys up here can do a quick yo-yo, which is just pass to me, pass it back, and we can go. So what we're going to do is he's going to disco through. So this is like that disco cut through on this end, right to top of box, and he's going to go. All right, we're looking to get this deep alley dodge. Okay, now here's the choice, right? We can fade and cut again, or we can cut and be out the back. All right, once again, we're reading here and we're driving. We're looking for this. All right, if he cuts, he has to fade. All right, as we're driving, yes, he does have that quick and one back to his partner. All right, a nice little, like, look at this follow right here, right at the top. All right, we've got the drive, we've got the push. All right, and then he's going to kind of slip back in and he has to drive. And at that point, this guy up here has sunk down with it and he's going to read it. If he wants to stay, that's fine. We can also drive, pass it, set it, and come up and over. And once again, we're in our stacks naturally again. All right? So that's the offense. All right, our ride. So when we go to ride, basically real simple here. We'll show it how it works. There's 3 zones in the ride. All right? 3 zones. Right? These 3 attackmen. Okay? These 3 mids. And then our defenders. Okay? Now, these defenders have to be on their attack. They have to follow their attack. These guys are making sure nobody's behind them. These guys get, this is zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. So the mids have to get all the way back to basically the edge of zone 3. All right, now to do this, we're gonna buy time. By doing that means these 2 attack are gonna come up and be right here on this edge of the box. This one attackman is going to chase the ball everywhere. Okay, that's his job. We don't wanna get this guy coming up yet. We're gonna buy time. Probably about anywhere from 8 to 10 seconds. All right, and the point of that is it gets these guys back and it gives them no opportunity to get the quick up and out. We want them to be trying to clear with their poles. All right, so if we pass it out here, all right, what we don't want is this. He's gonna chase him. He's gonna back it up. As he brings it over, brings it up, we're gonna get in front. We can't have it beat us in the side. We're gonna get in front and look to squeeze. He bumps over wide and high in there, and we end up bumping and going from here. All right, that's what we're looking to do. So we end up with this line in the middle. We end up with like 2 guys on the back side of the line, and we got more guys here. All the while, these guys are still manned up with their men. All right, so probably the biggest thing we have is this attack. The attack have to ride. The attack have to get the ball back as best as possible. All right? All right, so that right there is our ride. So further back with zone 3, knowing we have to get something. If we have an LSM here, what we're looking to do is get this midi off LSM, and he yells bump to get this LSM to the middle, and then all of a sudden now we can use this LSM and try to funnel guys more to that pressure, and we can get the LSM up into this area over the 50, be a little bit more active. All right, so defense. Our defense is a numbers-based system. We're not a zone by any means, but we are help. So when we're yelling numbers, it means number up. Probably the biggest thing we had this weekend was no ability to like recognize and read. So basically, if we're on defense, right, and the ball's here, I should almost see more of like a shape. Okay, got a guy like crease over here, here, here. Within this, we kind of saw some of this over the weekend, right? So I got a defender on ball. He's got ball. I got a defender. I got a defender. I got a defender here, right? I got a defender here. I got a defender here. So we have the back side of the wall. So these two defenders covering him and him are going to be in to help. This guy would be the hot man because he's covering crease, and we're going to go from the crease. All right. He's an adjacent. He's just help, but reading. So we want to be out and play. So these guys we want to have like halfway. If he passes him the ball, we want to actually be there. We don't want to be in all the way. He passes it, and now we're going out towards him. And so we're looking for things like sticky checks, which is throw the check and stick it. We want our poles to go and play. Poles should be hunters. All right, they should go out there. You don't have to be out here unless we find the matchup well. But they should be hunters, always seeking to get out there and use that 6 feet on their opponent and contact. All right, there wasn't enough pole contact. All right, so what occurs is we number up, we know who has who. He's hot. When he's hot, that means he's like dragging an anchor. He's ready to go. His body is in a position ready to go, ready to engage. And we slide with the body instead of with the slap. All right, our clear is the 34 clear. Okay, so real simple. Show you how this works. All right, I got 3 defenders playing defense. I got an LSM, and then they end up with 2 midfielders. So whatever shape we're in, it works this way. All right, this is the box right here. Okay, we banana. Box is here, so we're going away. So we need to get banana up. These 3 are even. Building the base. 34. 1, 2, 3. Too many times I saw this guy high. All right, on the back end. So 34, right? Okay. LSM looks to come off the field. These guys shoot up the hashes. All right. And then we start it. Once he gets off, we are crashing down. This is called the Maverick. He's mavericking to the goalie, who is looking for him. And if it's not there, he continues. All right? And then we just rotate this triangle across. All right? If one of those other middies were tired, he could easily come off at that point. Let's say he came off, right? LSM came on. All right, LSM came off. We maverick a guy on. Now he's tired. All right, let's get him off. All right, and look, we got another new one coming in. Always mavericking to the ball. All right, and that's where it looks like. If we can get it up to this side and we start to go up at the goalie, right, we have a nice pass, and then we can look for this, where all of a sudden he goes over the pole and we have an easy, wide open clear with the backside staying on side, or the guy who passed it stays back, and we end up even with 3. So, let's just stop at that. We just did offense, riding, defense, and our clear. So hopefully this helps you guys with some of our conversation. All right, and then I'll have an email that explains a little bit further as to what else we can do to kind of work on our game. Thanks, guys.